right, so welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So today, guys, we are joined by Rank, and of course, as you guys know, Rank is a Liverpool fan, so Rank will now be our Europa League correspondent.
Yikes.
Yeah, obviously, it's not the best, but at least you got European football. Some clubs can't. Some clubs didn't even get European football. Juventus and Chelsea.
And Spurs. Yep.
So, yeah, man, Rank. I know you're not. I know you probably don't want to be in this competition, but like I said, at least you're the. At least you can get. At least the winner of this can get champion. At least the winner of this can get Champions League.
Right. It's always better to be than not to be, right? That's
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, guys, you guys know Rank. Rank's been a good friend of mine. He's always been on the channel several times in the past. And yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So let's start with the first group, man. There will be timestamps in the description below, guys. Timestamps in the description below. Bulgaria Mapper says, yo. Philippe Eklund says, yo. Bulgaria Mapper says, happy with West Ham's group. Sebastian says, hello. Could I join for a while? Well, aren't you doing a stream on your channel? I thought you were doing a stream on your channel. So, yeah, I think we'll just keep it to just Rank today. You say you don't even care about Liverpool, so I don't even know why you want to join the stream.
True.
So Juventus got Europe.
Yikes.
Okay, let's start with Group A, man. Group A. We have West Ham United, Olympiacos, SC Freiburg, TSC.
Yeah, this one is very interesting. This has potential to be the group of death, but there's a certain group coming up that it's probably more like the group of death.
Yeah.
I feel like West Ham have obviously Conference League winners. They're looking fantastic this season. They started off real strong. They look very solid. Their signings they made have worked out wonderfully, like James Ward-Prowse and what else, Edson Alvarez. So I feel like West Ham should be the clear favorites in this group as long as they take the competition seriously, which I think they will. They've taken European football seriously in the past, and I don't know why this wouldn't be the case. And Olympiacos and Freiburg, I feel like, are going to be battling out for that second place. Freiburg have been a pretty good team in Germany for a while now, and Olympiacos is obviously the best team in Greece, like all time. TSC, sadly, I feel like they are here for the vibes. Maybe they can take points off someone, cause a few upsets, but I think it's going to be hard for TSC to get anything that isn't fourth, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just think that for me it's going to be interesting because West Ham, I don't know if you mentioned this, they also signed Kudos. That's a really good signing there.
Yeah.
So I just think for me personally, for Olympiacos, Olympiacos, I don't know what to expect with this team. This team is such a weird team. Like, I feel like on their day they could be like a very good team. Like, they could beat Arsenal, and then we saw last season how terrible they were. They finished bottom of a very doable group, to be honest. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, like you said, we don't know what to expect out of Olympiacos, but same could be said about Freiburg. Like, they haven't not been that consistent. They barely made it into the Europa League this time. And yeah, they bottled a few times in the Bundesliga as well to some very random teams. Of course, they lost the Copal final against Leipzig with a pretty hefty scoreline. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who is going to push for that second position. Of course, we are expecting West Ham to be first. Between Olympiacos and Freiburg, it's going to be a difficult pick.
Yeah. This is a very interesting group, as I said. It's as you mentioned, it is kind of a group of death. I don't really personally consider a group of death because I don't know what TSC is going to be. I feel like, as you said, they might just be the whipping boys. Obviously, BLE is our Serbia fan, so maybe he might have some more insights than I do. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think I feel like there's another group that's gonna be better than this, But yeah, this is definitely a good group, though. It's a very competitive group. I like this group.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just ask the chat here which team will advance. Actually, let me ask: is Group A group of death? Let me ask that question. So while you guys are doing that, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Group B, and then I guess we'll do like give you guys a few. Let's go read some comments, guys. Let's go read some comments here. Also, there is a Swedish. Ain't there a Swedish team plus up the Classic? Well, I thought the Swedish team wait, which Swedish team made it?
Haken.
Haken. Yeah, I thought you don't like Haken. I'm pretty sure I asked you this question earlier. And up the KI. Yeah, classic, man. Classic. West Ham win. Yeah, West Ham just won in the Premier League against Luton Town. So shout out to them. Yes, up the KI. Classic. Up Zaham, man. Zaham. Sebastian says, can't wait until PSG gets destroyed by Krunic.
Them.
We'll save the Champions League. Let's save the Champions League for another time. Sebastian said, Olympiacos will be third or second. I think this group will be easy. And Albert Cardonas, man, it's been a while, man. I hope you're doing well, man. Big up, guys. Finally feeling better, man. Shout out to you, Albert. And remember, you guys, to become a member of the channel, guys, for only $1 per month, guys. We'll be trying to do a member stream every weekend, guys. So, the recent ones we've been doing, it's been pretty good. So I definitely recommend to become a member of the channel. Sebastian says, yay, Albert. Sebastian says, Albert, don't forget, Mike's going to do a member stream in like 1 to 2 weeks. I'll run that, Sebastian. But it's still a Swedish team, right? I mean, I know it is a Swedish team, but I would if AIK was here, then I would bring you on for sure. Let me put it this way: Captain Falcon Main 65 said, "Where's your friend with the controversial takes?"
I think he's in the chat.
Yeah, I think he's in the chat. I can't wait until Saudi fully gets invited to UEFA.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Hey guys, check out my Champions League for the Asia Champions League. I actually did a video on that. I did a video reaction, and it's very different to the other Champions League, UEFA, South America. It's very strange. Anyways, we'll discuss that another time. Anyways, let's move on to Group B, man. Group B. So most of you guys are saying yes. So 78%. Make sure you guys smash the like button, guys. We are 9 likes, guys. Let's try to get to 20 likes, guys. 20 likes on this stream, guys. Hit that like button. We need to be reaching at least 15 likes, guys. And of course, subscribe to Rank if you haven't already done so. All right, Group B, guys. Oh man, Group E. I mean, not say Group E, but Group B.
Yeah, I'd say this is my favorite group of the bunch. This feels like a group where all 4 teams can take points off each other. Even Athens, I feel like they were pretty decent in the Champions League qualifiers. I know they went out to Antwerp, but they did beat Dinamo Zagreb, which was a bit of an upset because the Dinamo Zagreb has been usually making the Champions League group stage lately. And Athens really very much surprised. They've looked like a very solid team. They won the Greek Super Cup. The cup, basically. So they've gotten here by being a very good cup team. In the league, they don't always perform as well, but I feel like they can give a few upsets here and there to these other teams. I'm looking especially with a lot of concern at Marseille, because Marseille is a team that I don't trust one bit. And we know how French teams usually perform in Europe, and they've been very much struggling. And this Marseille team doesn't look great. I believe they dropped points to Nantes today, so it's not looking good. Ajax is another team that has been on a downward spiral, and they have not been able to recover from all the players they sold. And it showed in the Eredivisie, where they didn't even finish in the top 2. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And, of course, we have Brighton. For the first time competing in Europe, we're finally going to see what Brighton are made of, because they are going to have to see how they rotate their squad, how much their squad depth can adapt to playing in the Premier League and then in the Europa League. Because we obviously know that Brighton plays one of the best football in Europe, but it's going to be interesting how they manage their squad around 2 competitions. So this is the best group, in my opinion. There are a lot of question marks around every team, and every team can take points off each other. So I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I really don't have much to add to it, Rank. And the thing that makes this group so interesting is that they're like, as you said, you could even almost call this a group of life, because any of the 4 teams can honestly advance. Even AEK Athens, I know a lot of people are probably going to put them bottom in their predictions, and while they may finish bottom, they're not going to finish bottom like really, like they're going to give it a good go. Like I don't think they'll finish bottom with like 0 points or like 2 or 3. Like they're going to give it a good go. And as I said, we know Greece teams are generally pretty good at home. It's difficult to beat Greece teams at home. And so that's why I like about Group B is that I feel like every team in this group can win. And remember how last season we saw the group where every team finished on 8. There was like a group that everyone finished on 8 points. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens in this group.
Yeah. This definitely feels like a group where that can happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to see if Marseille and Ajax can be like a bit more consistent, and Brighton need to prove themselves, and let's see what Athens can do as well.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. Ajax, I think it's the first time they've in a long time they haven't been in the Champions League. I think it's the very.
Right.
I don't remember the last time they weren't in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just feel like for me, there's a lot of uncertainty with Ajax and Marseille. You know,
Yeah,
and it's really hard to call. And like I said, who knows? Athens may actually be able to capitalize upon that, given the uncertainty of both clubs. You know, which could be
I agree.
interesting. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a poll for this group, and then obviously we'll read some of your comments as per usual. And as I said, for me, this is the best group in the Europa League. All right, let's go and read some comments here. Al Nasser is the best team in Asia. Okay. I'm the one that controversial takes. Al Nasser will get punched 5-0 by Salzburg. I don't know about that. I mean, it's hard to say. Why is the 14th place team in Europa League? Because they won the Conference League.
Yep.
I believe that's a reference to West Ham. Well, Game Map says up Marseille. Rank, we could do our recap tomorrow. Why Sunday, though?
Well, I just ask for that time, I guess. Why are you bringing this up here?
Yeah. Like, this shouldn't be brought up here. Anyways, Avocado say Group B is like more like a group of death. Yeah, I agree. I think this is like Group A is decent, but like this was the real group of death. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Ajax getting upset, possibly. Ajax getting upset. Only team worse than Ajax in this group with AAK. Athens. I could see Brighton and Marseille going ahead of Ajax. Brighton win this easy. I don't know about easily, man. I mean, like I know they're a very good team, and as we just mentioned, but how are they going to prioritize this? Is this going to be their priority? Is this not going to be a priority? Like that's also another thing. Like how are they going to focus this? In my opinion, I think they'll go for it. I don't think they're a club that won't care about this, but they are going to have their eyes in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure. So, you know, obviously they want to try to do both. So, yeah. Marseille second, Brighton first. Well, nobody's perfect in Group B. Ajax might finish fourth. They're not the same. It's a lot of problems in the club. Ajax Conference League low. Marseille over AAK over Brighton and over Ajax. Yep, I'm talking about West Ham. Yeah. All right. So let me see what you guys are saying. And so most of you guys are saying yes, this is the best group, and I agree. I think this is the best group at the Europa League. All right, Group C. I almost skipped Group C there. Give me your thoughts on this group, Rank. I feel like this is kind of a lopsided group.
Yeah, not much interesting stuff happening in this group. I feel like Real Betis got handed a pretty easy group. They should be able to beat everyone in this group, especially at home. Rangers, I guess they could give them a tough time in Scotland, but other than that, it's going to be pretty lopsided. Like you said, Rangers have not been looking that good. Maybe, dropping to the Europa League is going to benefit them because they are going to be playing against opponents that are more on their level. Sparta Prague, they could try and push for second place. Maybe they can contest that. And Aris Limassol, I feel like they don't stand much of a chance, sadly. So this group feels much more boring than the other two.
Yeah, I'm sorry to Bulgarian mapping, man. I've lost a lot of faith in Rangers. Now Rangers should still be good. Like this I think it's still a doable group for Rangers. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like because Aris Limassol is a decent team, guys. Like I wouldn't sleep upon this team. They just destroyed Slovan Bratislava, and we know how good they were in the Conference League last season. And Sparta Prague, they defeated. I think they knocked out Dinamo Zagreb. They did an amazing comeback. So like Rangers, man, like this like be prepared, okay, Rangers. Just saying. So obviously Rangers should still have enough quality. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if they fumble this. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So yeah. Let me ask you guys this question. Can we see an upset in this group?
Potentially. I feel like the only team that can fumble this is Rangers, so I don't see Betis not qualifying.
Yeah, like for me, for me, I agree with you. And like I said, I don't have anything against Rangers. It's not like I hate this club. Okay, if anyone is thinking that, I just feel like for me they have been very unconvincing recently.
Yeah, we have to be honest.
Yeah. So, Seb, I agree. Rangers win. No more questions. Rangers getting 0 points are so bad. Okay, now that might be a bit of a stretch. That might be
0 points. I don't know about that one.
This is the Champions League. This is the Europa League. Rangers made it to the semifinals. Actually, it was a final they made.
True.
Yeah, man, I can't believe I thought Rangers would do decent in the Champions League just because of the Europa League. But yeah, Aris Limassol was cooking the UCL qualifiers. Yeah, Aris Limassol is a team to look out for. Like I wouldn't sleep upon that team. I underestimated them, and people got mad at me in the comments, and I learned the truth. Rangers is washed. It's the EL, not CLAD. I know it's the Europa League. Okay,
yeah, that's what we said. Like maybe it's better for Rangers to drop out to somewhere easier for them, but they still have to perform. Like they cannot get away with playing like that.
Yeah, like imagine Rangers in that Champions League group, like Sevilla, Arsenal, and then with what is it called? What's the other team? Lens. Rangers would for sure finish well in that group.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion on every team on the Conference League have to play qualifiers around? I personally don't really like it, in my opinion. But I guess it is kind of good because it gives. Because just because you are from a big league doesn't automatically give you the right to be in the competition. Like look at Osasuna. Like they were a La Liga team and they got knocked out. So, I mean, I guess it's like goes both ways. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So I'm personally not for that, but I can understand why it was done. Sebastian says Aris destroyed Bait with like 10-4 in the qualifiers. Yep. 80. I literally told you Aris Limassol is good. Yeah, I learned it. I know now. Okay. At least I'm not underestimating Aris Limassol in the group stage. Alexander Report Football says hi. All right, so most of you guys are saying no, although we've only had 4 votes, so maybe we'll give a few more minutes to have you guys vote. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes since we only have 4 votes. So maybe once we get like 7 or 8 votes, then we'll end the poll. Anyways, let's move on to Group D, man. Group D.
Yeah, very interesting group here we have. Atalanta, they have been looking pretty good. They've made some good signings like Charles de Ketelaere, who after having a stinker season at Milan looks like he's finally found his form that he had for Club Brugge before. Sporting, they had a disappointing season in Liga NOS, and that's why they won't be in the Champions League and they are here in the Europa League. So they'll have a lot to prove. Obviously, they are a very historic team in Portugal, so they'll want to do well in this competition for sure. Sturm Graz, maybe second in the pecking order in Austria, behind obviously Salzburg, but I feel like they are still a very solid team. They can get results against pretty much everyone, I feel like. And then we have the Polish team, which I'm trying to pronounce still, Raków Częstochowa, who are a bit of a wild card for me. I feel like they can definitely take points off like the bigger teams, but I don't know if they'll have enough to push for that second position. Maybe they can contest Sturm Graz for the Conference League spot, but I feel like top 2 is going to be a bit of a stretch for Raków here. Right, seems like AD is not here. What are you saying, chat?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I had to do something real quick. Anyways, I'm sorry I didn't get to hear what you were saying. I had to do something. So can you repeat that again? Just like do a brief summary.
Right. Yeah, like I was saying, Atalanta, I think they started off the season pretty well with some of the signings they're made. And I like how they are playing in Serie A so far. They are still the Atalanta we know and love, but a bit better than last season at least. Sporting, they had a disappointing season in Liga NOS, but they are still one of the biggest teams in in Portugal, so they want to do well here. Stormgrass, probably second in the pecking order after Salzburg, obviously in Austria, but I feel like they are a very solid team and they can take points off these other big teams, same as Rakov Czestochowa, who I feel like will still put up a good fight. They can push for that third position over Stormgrass in the Conference League spot, but I feel like top two is going to be a bit of a stretch for Rakov.
Yeah, definitely. And Sporting, I heard had a really good summer window. They brought in so many good signings. Like I think they brought in first Nada, the right back that I wanted at Barca. I actually am going to say this right now. I wanted him over Cancelo more. That's story for another time though. And then they got a striker from I forgot the guy name is like Sebastian could probably let me know. I think he's Swedish. They signed a striker from that's Swedish, very decent striker. Because one of my issues I had with Sporting last season, the Europa League, was that they were playing so good. It's just their attack was so bad. Like without Pedro Gonçalves, I really thought the attack was struggling. So that's a good sign they made. And I think they made some other notable signs. I can't really remember the top of my head. Maybe you can remember. I just don't remember the top of my head right now.
Right.
So,
no, I feel like you mentioned the bigger ones at least.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting. And for Atalanta, man, obviously they're still a good team, as we know. I feel like they're a bit more pragmatic nowadays. They're not as free-flowing, attack-minded as they used to be. So I do think that is good for them. Although I still have question marks over Atalanta, especially given they kind of sometimes like get points against bigger teams and they kind of let down against like smaller teams. Like I don't know, I've kind of been seeing that in Serie A recently, which is kind of it could happen here in this Europa League. So the Stormgrass, we know how good of a team they are. And Rako, they'll definitely be competitive. But it's gonna be a tall task for them to qualify. You know, so
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Put Messi and Aris on team and they win the UCL. That would be the craziest thing I've seen. Like if Messi could bring Aris Limassol to win the Champions League,
that'd be dud.
That's dud. Yeah, Rocco could cook. That youngster center back is really good at Atalanta. What's that name? Who's the name you're talking about?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Victor Gorkaris. Hopefully I'm butchering his name. Because I know I'm not really good at pronunciation. So yeah, that's a good signing they made right there. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna end the poll, guys, for Group C. You guys were saying most of you guys are saying no. I feel like Group D could be a lot more interesting than people are making it out to be. I feel like this could be a very interesting group.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, Atalanta are not really that consistent of a team, and that's usually not good in cup competitions. Because in cup competitions, often if you lose one game, you go out. So Atalanta can like drop to the Conference League, but they can also make a deep run in the Europa League. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's the thing with Atalanta. So I have some question marks there. So, like I said, I think this group could be fun. I feel like there could be a lot of goals in this group. Like I feel like this could be a goal-scoring group, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scalvani. Okay, that's the guy you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. How many likes we're on? We're still at 9 likes. Come on, man. We need to at least reach 10 likes, man. Come on. Bare minimum 10 likes, man. Come on. It's a Europa League and Conference League, guys. We'll get to Conference League groups later. Group E, man. Rank. I think we were discussing last night about which teams you wanted to play against, and I think there was one team you for sure didn't want to play against. You told me.
Well, the team we talked about last night was Union Saint-Gilloise, which I said I kind of didn't want to play them, and I kind of wanted to because there's this Belgian friend I had that he said that we were going to get USG and that they were going to cook us. And I was like, I want to prove you wrong, but I also feel like we might lose that game. So I don't know what to think. Then Liverpool also got Lask from Austria and Toulouse from France. Toulouse, they are really not a good team at all. They were fighting relegation last time in France, but they won the cup, so that's why they are here, which is pretty random. I don't think they are that good of a team. Lask could be a box of surprises, definitely. I don't know what to expect from that encounter. And let me tell you, AD, Liverpool are not going to walk this group. They are not, because we are going to see a lot of rotations. We are going to have our eyes focused on the Premier League and trying to get top four again. I feel like we're going to see a lot of substitutes or players that don't usually get minutes playing the Europa League. And I feel like that's going to really hinder our ability to top this group comfortably. I'm not 100% convinced that Liverpool are going to top this group, AD. I'm not that convinced.
What?
I feel like we are going to top it, but it's not going to be easy at all. And yeah, we are going to drop points to people when we're like rotating or going away from Anfield. We usually struggle. And yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts. Also, there's a bit of a funny factor here because we're going to have Alexis McAllister play against his brother, Kevin McAllister, who made the move to USG this summer. So there's going to be like a bit of a family reunion there. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Let's see how that goes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this will definitely be an interesting group. I'm really this like you said, Rank. This will like people may think this group is easy. People haven't seen Union SG. Union SG are a very good team. They're very much like a Brighton team. They very much play like Brighton. They're so free flowing. Their attack is amazing and everything. Now, I do have some concerns about them though because they have lost some notable players. Like Victor Boniface is gone. He went to Leipzig, and I believe their captain. I think he left. I forgot which club he went to. I know he left. And they lost some other notable players, and so that's my concern with Union SG is that how are they gonna still be as exciting as they were, and the replacements, and as you said, LASK and Toulouse, man, like you said, Liverpool should top this group. Like they have enough quality to do so. It's just whether they're gonna actually do it or not remains to be seen. And as you said, Rank, this may be a lot more closer than people anticipate it be.
Yeah, mostly because of the rotation. Like, obviously, if Liverpool were to play their first team every time, we will probably top this group very easily. But I feel like that's not going to be the case because the focus is definitely to get back to the Champions League. And the easier way to do that is to get top four. Obviously, if we are deep into the Europa League, we are going to start playing our first team. But for these group stage matches, I expect a lot of rotation for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. And as you said, I think they're going to draw points away from home. That's kind of my concern is that I think if you guys win the home games and don't lose away games, you should be fine. Like 3 wins, 3 draws.
Yeah.
That will be ideal scenario, obviously. And like I said, you do want to top this group because obviously topping the group would give you direct qualification round of 16. Whereas if you come second, you're going to have to go through knockaround playoffs. So you can play against a Champions League team and Champions League, you don't want to play against the second place teams, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah, at least in the round of 32. All right, Group E. So, yeah, you guys aren't really voting the polls, so I don't know if we should still continue doing the polls. Maybe we'll just do like one poll overall rather than like do a poll for each group. All right, let's move to Group F, man. Group F.
Oh, this is very, very interesting. Villarreal, I have a lot of question marks around this team. They lost to Cadiz today. They are not looking good at all in La Liga. They are under like big suspicion. I have no idea what to expect out of Villarreal. Like they should have enough to get out of this group, but I'm not convinced at all. Rennes, I feel like they are a very good team. They did lose some big players like Jeremy Doku, of course, who went to Manchester City and stuff. But I feel like they still kept most of their core that did well in Ligue 1 last season. It's just a matter of see if they are going to perform because we know that French teams usually struggle in Europe when the level of competition goes up. Maccabi Haifa, of course, we saw them in the Champions League last time around and they were pretty decent. They did surprisingly well in a group that was very much complicated and everyone had the bottom. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they can perform against some other struggling teams like Villarreal and Rennes. And then Panathinaikos, it's another box of surprises. I feel like they are not as good as Olympiacos and AEK Athens. So I really don't know what to expect out of Panathinaikos. I feel like maybe they finish fourth. I don't want to like rule them out completely because they are going to give a good fight, especially at home. But I don't know. This group feels like a lot of uncertainty between the teams, very inconsistent teams, and we are gonna have to see how they perform on the day. Everyone can take points off each other. That's all I know. And yeah, Villarreal, they need to step up their game if they want to make it out.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I'll just chime in here briefly. I agree with you, Rank. Villarreal for me, they look very much odd. They sold a lot of key players. That's also another concern, and they have Setien as a coach. And with all due disrespect, man, I don't think Setien is that good of a coach. I mean, and we all saw what they did in the conference league last season. They were one of the favorites, and they lost to Anderlecht at home. With all due disrespect, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry. Like, that cannot happen. And Anderlecht was like mid-table in their own league. And
Right.
so I'm sorry. Like, I don't see Villarreal doing well in this competition. I really don't. At most, it's probably quarterfinals, if I'm being honest. And as you said, Rank, they may not even advance out of this group, even though they should. They're the pot one team with the quality players. Rennes, on the other hand, is a very decent team. The problem, though, is that, French teams tend to underperform.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, that loss of Doku was a huge blow to them. So, and then Maccabi Haifa, hopefully I'm trying to pronounce his name better. Of course, we know how good they were in the Champions League last season, and they did well in the qualifiers this season. I know they didn't make the Champions League, and they lost to Young Boys. It was only the away game they lost. They put up a fight at home, and they defeated Slovan Bratislava in the qualifiers. So, and then obviously this team, I'm gonna just call them the abbreviation. I don't even feel like calling them the name.
Panathinaikos.
Panathinaikos.
No. Okay,
Sorry.
move on.
Okay, just call them Paul. I'll just call them Paul. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm bad at this one. Okay, I'm just gonna call them Paul. We all know what they did in the Champions League qualifiers. They put up a really good fight against Marseille. They had the character to come from behind and push it to penalties, and it was a very impressive. And obviously they put up a good fight against Braga, even though they lost 3-0 on aggregate. They're still a good team. So I feel like they're defensively solid. So, Rank, I can't believe I'm saying this. Is there a chance that both Villarreal and Rennes get grouped?
Ooh. Both, I feel like it's a bit of a stretch. I feel like one of them is going to make it out for sure. They are for sure the two favorites, but I feel like one might drop out. It's going to be down to see if, I don't know, Villarreal can pick themselves to a cup, or if Rennes can perform to the level we saw in Ligue 1, or they are going to underperform. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. LASK second and first Liverpool. Okay. Rennes first because they're talented. Watch out for Enzo Lefi. Okay, I'm going to try to remember that name. In fact, let me actually pin that right now. Enzo Lefi, man. I got to see some highlights of him. Give me Pau to win this group. Psych. They get second, Rennes get first. Imagine they actually win this group. That'd be crazy.
Yo.
Villarreal sold too much, plus Etienne's bad at Europe, and plus, you know that. And of course, we all know what Setien did with Barca. I don't even want to discuss that match. So Paul can get second. Paul could get second. They impress against Braga. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like this group is gonna be a lot more closer than people think it is. Like, I feel like many people are just gonna put Villarreal Rennes, and they're just gonna say, "Oh, it's easy."
Yeah, they are just looking at which league the teams come from without looking at the actual teams.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely, man, definitely. So, yeah. All right, Group G, man. Oh man.
Oof. Well, this is very interesting because Roma, man, they are on fraud watch. Like, I don't want to rule them out completely just yet. They have some very, very good players, but they look bad. It's not looking pretty. It's not looking good at all. Slavia Prague, they are not as good as Sparta Prague. Their rivals, I guess. I guess it's a bit of a derby. They are both from Prague, but they are still a good team. They can still put up strong performances, especially at home. Sheriff Tiraspol, of course, we remember what they did against Real Madrid a few years ago. Sadly, they are not the same team anymore, and they've been struggling as of late. I don't know if they are as strong as they used to be. They could put up a fight in this group, but I seriously doubt it. I love Sheriff. I feel like they are a very cool team. They have a cool badge and all, but I feel like it's gonna be hard for them to get anything in this group because the pot 4 team is Servette, and I feel like Servette has been a bit of a sleeper team. the Swiss league has been rising in the last few years. They've
Yeah,
been putting
that's
up
true.
better performances, and Servette is a team that I think was very, very solid in the league last season, and they qualified here like unexpectedly for many teams. So I feel like Servette is gonna finish above Sheriff Tiraspol, at least in my opinion, and then it's gonna see if they have enough to push for second, and then we need to see if Roma don't disappoint, because this is a very doable group for them. But yeah, like I said, they are on fraud watch. We'll have to see how they do.
Yeah, and Jose Mourinho, man, I don't care if you're putting all your eggs in the Europa League basket. You still have to do well in Serie A.
Yeah.
Because what if you don't win the Europa League, as we saw last season? Like you need an alternative. What is happening again? Okay, I don't know. Something happened in my computer, but I think it's good. You just can't put all your eggs in the Europa League basket. Get fourth and then see if you can win the Europa League. At least you have that insurance. And so I just think that for Roma, man, they play so bad. And as you said, Rank, I think you told me in Discord, and that they need Dybala. Dybala is their savior.
Yeah, but he's injured like every time.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Now Lukaku is there though, which
yeah, he just arrived. It only took him like 15 minutes to get his first yellow card, but to be fair, he had a decent game considering those were the first minutes of football he has played in like 2 months. So I feel like Lukaku can definitely be good for them. I'm not gonna rule the man out yet.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's gonna be interesting, as you said, Rank, that this is a very doable group for Roma, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Roma fumbles this.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, Rank, I should pay more respect to Servette, because I was kind of disrespectful to them in this video yesterday. I didn't really look into much, but I think they won the Swiss. They came second place in Swiss League, right?
Yeah, Young Boys won it, but by like a long margin. But Servette were second.
Yeah, and I think they won. They were they in the Arsenal group last season in the Europa League, or was that?
I think you're right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, guys. And then obviously Slavia Prague, we know how good they were a few seasons ago, and Sheriff Tiraspol. It's kind of interesting. We have like the Champions League underdogs here in this group.
True. Big true.
Yeah, and as I said, man, it's going to be very interesting. But obviously these Champions League underdog teams are not as good as they used to be. So, obviously Slavia Prague, they used to have Suchek, and Sheriff Tiraspol, they used to have that Teal guy, I think, and then that amazing goalkeeper. I forgot his name.
Mm-hmm.
So they moved on. So I feel like Group G could be very interesting, guys. I feel like Group G may be more interesting than people expect it to be. So let me go ahead and read some comments here. BLE Reviews Football says, sorry for being late. TSC, Baka, Topola are a decent team. They play the most attractive football in Serbia, getting draws and sometimes even wins against Cervena Zvezda and Partizan. Will be interesting. All right, thank you for letting us know. Okay, now I don't know if that entirely changes my outlook inside, but I do think it makes the group more interesting.
Yeah.
Roma just lost again to Milan. Yep. And that was a Milan team that was down to 10 men. So.
Yep.
Lukaku.
Roma had like 14 shots and none of them were on target. So like, yikes.
Okay, guys. If Lukaku helps Roma win the Europa League, is everything forgiven?
Not everything, but I feel like he's still on time to revive his career, because I feel like, look at here, BLE, Lukaku helped you reach the UCL final last year, and people like fans from the clubs he used to be are clowning him because he's like flirting with all these other teams. He was rumored to Juventus at some point. Like that would have been a clown show.
Yeah, and also here's the thing, guys. People are forgetting Lukaku was really good under Antonio Conte.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he's reunited with Jose Mourinho, so maybe Jose Mourinho knows how to get the best out of him. Although I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Share from a fake country. Okay, I'm not gonna get political stuff here. Let's not get too much into that. Of course, Swiss bias again. Dude, we're not trying to be biased, man. Like, I think Servette's actually a decent team. Like,
yeah.
Like, they're not like just there for the vibes, Next game, Inter versus Milan. Wait, are you serious? Is Milan Derby really next?
Milan Derby on match day 4. Yep.
Oh my. Okay, we're gonna have to. When is that game? Because I need to watch that game. Hopefully I can. I need to watch that game, bro. When is it?
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be next week because of international break, right?
Oh, it's on. It's September 16th. Okay, 12 p.m. my time.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna have to do like a live reaction or something. We're gonna have to do like a reaction or something because that's a huge game. Huge game. Man, I can't believe that it's so early, man.
Yep. I was surprised too.
Yeah, gosh dang, these people are Basel haters. Oh yeah, we forgot what. Remember what Basel did in the Conference League last season? They defied all the odds and made it to semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a bit lucky, but it was a bit lucky.
I remember I kept like predicting against them. I think I only predicted one time in their favor.
Yeah.
Oh man, Servet's getting third. Don't trust Sheriff. Steve said he looks young. Okay, I don't. Really...
Don't take that out of context. Don't clip that.
Okay, let's just move on. I feel like someone's gonna try to clip that, so I feel like it's best we just don't read out loud. I mean, they're a good team. Okay, you should say rate. Okay, like rate is a better way to say that. Okay, glory to all Slavic teams. Sebastian says #free Lukaku. Billy Reviews Football says yes, and he lost to us the UCL final.
True.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't all his fault. You can't single-handedly blame him for the entire thing, you know? Look at said for real. Pavard versus Hernandez. Ooh. Interesting. All right, let's move on to Group H, man. Group H. And then we're going to go to the Conference League. This is an interesting group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like Bayer Leverkusen should be fairly happy about this. You know, it's not a super easy group, but it's pretty accessible. And Bayer Leverkusen have looked fantastic in the preseason. They made some fantastic signings. Of course, they got Granit Xhaka. They got, who was the striker? They got I forgot right now.
Boniface.
Oh yeah, they got Boniface, not Leipzig. Yeah, that's right. I feel like Leverkusen have looked better and better under Xabi Alonso. Obviously, in last year they got done dirty by Mourinho. They probably should have advanced against Roma, and they probably had a shot at the Europa League if that was the case. So I feel like now that they've only come back stronger, they should have enough to, you know, make a big impact in the Bundesliga and also have enough to compete for the Europa League again. So this group should be fairly straightforward for them. Then the battle for second is very interesting because Karabakh, Mold, and Haken, I feel like they are all three teams that are probably on similar level. Karabakh from Azerbaijan, obviously, we've seen them a few times. They've sometimes made like the Champions League, the Europa League. They've been getting some international experience for a while now. So I feel like that could be brewing up to having a good campaign. Mold, they have been putting good performances against strong teams, and I feel like they can definitely surprise. Their home ground is usually like very strong, so they can get points. And then the Swedish champions Haken, I know they've lost some of their key players, so they may not be as good as before, but I feel like they should still have enough to put up a fight. The classic against Mold, like Norway versus Sweden, is going to be very nice. We'll have to see who comes on top in that one.
Yeah, I like you said, Ring. This is a very interesting group because obviously Bayer Leverkusen are heavy favorites. They should be able to, advance in this group. And as you said, the second place battle is very interesting because I kind of agree with you. I think all the teams are on the same kind of similar level, and I think what's going to be very fascinating to see is I think what's going to determine the second place for me is how they're going to perform at home. I think the home games are going to be very crucial because I feel like Quarterback, Mold, Haken, I feel like all three of the teams are not really good on the road. They're not really that great. So I feel like the home games will be very decisive, and whichever team loses at home, then I think could be detrimental to qualify and the qualification hopes. So, yeah, I personally, I still am not really sure which team is going to advance. I haven't made my mind yet, so we're gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, the games will take place in 20 days' time, so I'll have a prediction video in 2 weeks' time, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, these Europa League groups have been interesting. Like, these Europa League groups are a lot more competitive than the Champions League. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yep.
So that's what I love about the Europa League, man. Europa League. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Conference League. We're 45 minutes, so we spent a little too much time, but that's okay. Because Conference League groups are generally pretty straightforward, so I don't think we'll spend nearly as time. We're gonna spend as long as we did for the Champions Conference League, of course. But yeah, let's see. So we're gonna go to this season, of course. Oh, this is this season. Okay. So let's go to the groups, man. Group stage. Group A, man. Where's Group A? Right here. Group A. Group A. Lille, Slovan Bratislava, Olympia Ljubljana, and KI.
Right. Everyone's favorite team is here, Key. Obviously, the team that almost made the Champions League group stage from the Faroe Islands. They did not succeed, sadly, and they could not advance in the playoffs of the Europa League. And that has them in the Conference League group stage.
It's better to be part of, you know?
Yeah, it's better to be a part of. I feel like, obviously, Lille should be the heavy favorites. I would say that Slovan Bratislava would have a chance to push for first, but I feel like they have not looked as good. Like you said, they got upset in the qualifiers for the Champions League. So I don't know if I can trust Slovan Bratislava to make...
And they got destroyed by Arslan as well.
Yeah, I feel like I would make a case for them to push, compete against Lille, but I feel like they have not been as consistent. So I feel like Lille should easily top this group. Then the battle for second is going to be interesting. I feel like Olympia, they are probably the wild card, as well as Key. Obviously, Key are going to be the biggest wild card of them all. We don't know what they're going to get out of them. They might surprise again and push for second place because Bratislava has not looked as good. So I feel like we are all going to be rooting for Key. The safe option would be Slovan Bratislava second, but I wouldn't be surprised if Key push for second, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like for me, this group is straightforward, but given how given how Slovan Bratislava have been kind of unconvincing recently and underwhelming they have been, there is room for an upset, and I could see an upset happening in this group. But I pretty much agree with you. I think Lille is going to cakewalk this group, and I think the second place battle is going to be interesting. But ultimately, I do think it will ultimately be the team that you would probably expect. So yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to read some comments. Thank you for the clip, by the way.
No.
Oh man. Oh, I didn't read the comments, so it won't be as bad. Quarterback are underrated. Yeah, quarterback are very underrated. I think people should respect them more, man. Sebastian said lucky. I think it's about what you said about Basel.
I did not say that, but I said it. So
I think I would say Basel they did it unconvincingly. I think we can agree with that.
They did it their way.
Yeah, their way. Hacken second. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Mold fourth. Okay. KI win. Norwich City over PSG. Oh man. Okay. Group B.
I feel like Ghent once again got handed a pretty easy group, I would say. I feel like Maccabi Tel Aviv probably have the biggest chance of upsetting them, but if nothing strange happens, Ghent should be topping this group, and Maccabi Tel Aviv coming in second. I feel like Soria Luhansk, I haven't heard much of them, but obviously we know that Ukrainian teams are not playing on their home ground for obvious reasons. So I feel like that also complicates things a lot for them, not having, that home ground that is usually pretty important in cup competitions. And then we have this team from Iceland, which I looked up the pronunciation. It's Breisablik. So that little weird symbol in the middle is pronounced like a th. So Breisablik. I feel like they are going to be the wild card. We've seen that teams from Iceland usually don't perform, but maybe they can bring this surprise pack. Maybe they have a big home advantage and they can catch people off guard there. But I feel like this group should be pretty straightforward, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably agree with you in the sense that this group is probably not I feel like I'm keen to see what Zora Lunis could do. I think they could do something in this group. Like I feel like they could definitely surprise people. Like Maccabi Tel Aviv, but they're probably the favorites. I would probably say, but don't write up against Zora Lunis. And it was really interesting. Oh, actually, I don't really want to bring this up, so I'll save it for I'll tell you later. But who knows? Maybe Barrel. How do you pronounce the name again?
Breidablik.
Berhelbeck.
Breidablik.
Breidablik.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, who knows? They might get in second place, but I think it's gonna be a tall task. It's gonna be like the KI. We're all gonna be rooting for them, and hopefully they can do well. And of course, by the way, if you guys know this, I believe it's the first time we got a Faroe Island club in the European competitions, and the same with Iceland. So
yeah, right.
That's a crazy achievement. There, common MTA cakewalk. Wait, what? I'm really confused. Oh, Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Okay, that's
that
a good
makes
one.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zora. Bracelbeg beat Struga. Yeah, they did beat Struga. That was unexpected. They were not expected to beat Struga, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a North Macedonian club, I believe. So, yeah. All right, Group C, man. Ooh, I like Group C.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite groups. Obviously, Dinamo Zagreb. They are probably the team with the most heritage in this group, but they've been very, very underwhelming as of late. They did not reach the Champions League, and they've landed all the way in the Conference League as a Pot 1 team, obviously because of coefficient. But I feel like it remains to be seen how Dinamo Zagreb is going to perform. Obviously, they should have like the players and the quality to advance from this group, but I wouldn't discard them fumbling this. Victoria Pleasant, obviously, we saw them in the Champions League last season, and they were in a very tough group, but they still put up some decent fights. Astana, I'm very interested to see how Astana do, because they have one of the best home grounds probably in this competition. Playing in Kazakhstan, going all the way there, like it doesn't even show on the map when you go to the Wikipedia page. Like Astana is not even on the map. You have to go so far. Astana usually win all of their home games, so I feel like they have a cushion of points they could gather and maybe push for second place. Balkany is probably gonna be the big underdog of the group. They are the wild card for sure. I feel like it's hard for me to see something that isn't fourth for them. So yeah, we'll have to see. I feel like Astana is my pick to be the surprise of this group, and then between Victoria Pleasant and Dinamo Zagreb, I feel like one of them is gonna drop out.
You mean like Astana will top of the group, or like come in second place?
Come in second place, and I feel like I need to see what Dinamo Zagreb can do after disappointing in the qualifiers, because I feel like they are not that good at like they were before. And Victoria Pleasant, we saw that they were pretty decent last time around. So I don't know. I'm kind of favoring Victoria Pleasant to top and Astana second at the moment. But Dinamo Zagreb obviously should at least have the quality to do something.
Yeah, I heard Dinamo Zagreb, they sold a lot of key players. I heard they sold I think they're gonna sell their goalkeeper to Fenerbahce. I heard. Livakovic. That's a big loss, because we know how good a goalkeeper was for Dinamo Zagreb, and of course for Croatia in the World Cup. So like this is a very competitive group. Like I know a lot of people are probably going to say, "Oh, this group is going to finish as it's showing out here." I could see an upset. Like I feel like this group, there's a very possibility an upset can happen. It's not as straightforward as the group may seem.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go read some comments, guys. Read some comments. Faroe Islands are Danish, meaning Danish teams from the islands playing the UEFA Europa Conference League. Man, yeah. Shout out to the what is the thing called again? The Danish teams, the Faroe Island Norwegian teams. We were seeing the rise of the Norwegian countries. I think that's how you call it, right? So Nordic. Sorry. North Macedonia, fake team from a country in there. Okay. I cannot read that comment.
We don't know Cyrillic, sadly.
Yeah. Please speak in English. We will not be able to read your comment, unfortunately. And the murderers in Dinamo Zagreb were there. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Astana can surprise. I think that really affected the team, because the fans shouldn't make people think the team is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Sabah FK win. They have Messi regions who fail.
Wow.
Only 2 teams that group.
Okay.
Sabah FK can win UCL next year. Balkani is good. Balkani are the best Kosovo team. Okay, man. Let's not get too controversial here, political here. Astana has players like Thomas Vo, Origi, Durbo, Amibotov, Kondrik, the goalkeeper quad, and some other decent players. Maccabi Tel Aviv. Oh, you're a Maccabi Tel Aviv fan. Okay, that's cool. Shout out to you, man. Are you happy? Well, we already discussed about their group earlier, so you can give your quick thoughts. Don't say a Bulgari. All right, all right. Looks like you guys are. Looks like we're having some interesting conversations in the chat going on. Let's go to Group D, man. Group D. Oh, I love Group D. Oh, this is a good.
Yeah, this is a fantastic group. Obviously, Club Brugge, they had a very disappointing season last time around. Like, I know, they made the Champions League round of 16. That was nice and all.
Say disappointed domestically speaking.
Domestically speaking, like they finished fourth, and they just barely fourth. And so that's why they landed in the Conference League. Obviously, they still have quality, and their coefficient was good enough to put them in pot one, but they did not get handed an easy group whatsoever because Bodo Glimt is here, and we saw that Bodo Glimt had a lot of hype last season in the Europa League. Did they live up to that expectation? Maybe not, but I feel like they are still a pretty competitive team, and they can put up some very good fights. Then we have Besiktas. I feel like Besiktas, honestly, probably the strongest team in this group. We'll have to see what they can do. They've been disappointing for a few seasons now, finishing below Fenerbahce and Galatasaray in the Turkish league. But I feel like maybe we can see a resurgence from this team. And then the wildcards of Lugano. We've been hyping up the Swiss league a bit in the stream. I feel like Lugano fall under the same bag. I don't think they are as good as Servette were when we were talking about them, but Lugano could definitely do something. So, this group seems very competitive. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I'm sorry to correct you guys. It was actually it was actually Zurich that was an Arsenal group last season, not Lugano.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not Lugano, Servette. Sorry. So, but yeah, I mean, anyways, getting back to this group, I feel like for me it's a very interesting group because one of the big teams is going to go out. Club Rouge, Bodo Glimt, Besiktas. Like one of them is going to go out of the group stage, and the question is which team will go out. And so that's why I'm really not really sure what to think of this one because Club Rouge, they did beat a massive team to get to here, beat Osasuna, and they were not expected to beat Osasuna. I'm pretty sure Osasuna were definitely the favorites. I'm pretty sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Bodo Glimt, they're not as good as they used to be. I feel like they have kind of regressed a bit. They sold some of the key players, and I still think they're a good team, of course, but I don't think they're as good as they used to be. And Besiktas, we know how good they are at home. We know how good Turkish clubs are at home. It's just a question of whether they're good on the road. That's going to determine their fate. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is a good group. I think this is a very competitive group, and honestly, I could see. I could see there could be an upset in this group. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Club Brugge gets grouped.
Wow. So, yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, they haven't really been good domestically speaking, and I don't think they'll be as good as in Europe. And have they sold like any of their key players this summer?
Bruges?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. I feel like it was mostly Ghent and USG that were making the most moves. Antwerp and Genk and these other teams, and Bruges, I feel like kept most of their key players. I mean, Genk did sell some players, but I feel like Bruges and Antwerp mostly kept their core.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. Let's go read some comments, man. Let's read some comments. All right, okay. BLE's angry. He'll be more angry in 2 weeks. Okay. Maccabi Tel Aviv topped the group. All right, interesting. It's not sure like you people. It's Hebrew. He's writing in. Okay.
Yes, sorry, I got that wrong.
Yeah. Bodo Glimt win. True. Rank come to Besiktas.
You mean like Turkey or Istanbul, I guess?
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know what you mean by that. Anyways, do you know Hebrew? I personally don't.
No.
No, I know it looks like good. Only 2 people here can read Cyrillic. Yes, Rank. You hype Swiss teams a lot in the stream.
Okay, I said Servette were a good team and Lugano might be decent, and I said Basel got lucky. So I'm not hyping up Swiss teams. I'm saying I'm trying to be objective here, like trying to say, okay, this team is good, this team is not that good. Okay, like that's what I'm doing. It doesn't have to do with nationality.
Yeah. Maccabi Tel Aviv, best team in Israel. Maccabi Haifa are imposters. I'm sorry, I have to disagree. Hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. Let's see
I'll say this: Maccabi Tel Aviv probably have more heritage.
Okay,
and
that
are
I can
probably
agree.
the bigger team. But
Yeah,
I feel like Maccabi Haifa has been better lately.
Yeah. You can now that I can agree with. That's fair. Swiss clubs are very good, better than. Okay, let's not start a war here. Wait, I'm done. Besiktas win. Galatasaray or Besiktas though. Yeah, shows that you just talk crap. My gosh, I'm scared. Swiss league is okay at best, nothing more. Let's just say both leagues are decent. Okay.
Yeah.
Group E, man. Group E.
Ooh, good group. Good group. AC Alkmaar, Aston Villa, Legia Warsaw, and I'm sorry, Mostar. I feel like are here for the vibes. Shrinsky, that's how you say that. Shrinsky Mostar. I feel like they are the vibes team here. They are probably gonna finish bottom. I've never seen a Bosnian team do that well in Europe. I think it's very good that they are here. They are probably happy to be here. I feel like Aston Villa, they are probably gonna put some eggs into the Conference League basket. They should obviously try to prioritize the Premier League, but I feel like they will not completely abandon the Conference League. It's not every day that Aston Villa makes Europe, so if they have a European competition, I feel like they are gonna put some of their best players here. And AC Alkmaar as well. They pushed very far into the Conference League last time around. And maybe they can do it again. They didn't have the best of seasons in the Eredivisie, but maybe they can surprise. And Legia Warsaw, I feel like they are a very decent team. I saw a bit of them last season. I believe they were in the same group as Arsenal as well, if I remember correctly.
No, wait. Which team were you talking about?
Legia Warsaw.
No, they weren't.
They were not? Okay. Yeah. I remember that wrong, obviously. But I did watch them play, and I feel like they are pretty decent. They can definitely take points at home from these other big teams, but I feel like probably Aston Villa and AC should be the favorites to advance from this group. That should be straightforward, but who finishes first is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Definitely I agree with you. AZ Alkmaar, they're definitely very solid. They're a good team, of course. However, they did have lost some big players this summer. I think they lost Ryan Agers, one of their best midfielders, and I think they lost another important player. I can't remember his name at the top of my head. Yeah. Do you know anyone else they lost this summer? I know they lost Ryan Agers. That's like the only important. That's the only player I can remember at the top of my head right now.
Yeah, not that I know of.
Yeah, and we know how Aston Villa have strengthened this summer. You know, they brought in Paul Torres. They brought in who else they brought in this summer? I forgot their names. Oh yeah, they brought in didn't they bring up Bailey? Yeah,
Bailey was there before.
Oh, sorry. Diaby. I'm thinking about it.
Moussa Diaby. They brought in who was this other player? I forgot. They brought in a midfielder.
Oh yeah, they brought in Kamara. Didn't they bring Kamara?
Kamara. Yeah, they did.
Rangers.
Yeah.
I think that's the player you're talking about.
I think I'm remembering. I'm missing someone else because I talked about him in my video about the Premier League predictions. But okay, moving on.
Anyways, the point here is Aston Villa's strength. We know how good Unai Emery is, a cup kind of manager. So, Legia Warsaw obviously decent, and Mostar. I don't know. I'm not really too convinced of them. Legia Warsaw, though, I think will definitely put up a good showing. But yeah, I think this group is kind of straightforward for which teams are going to advance, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh, Carlson. That's the player I was thinking of, I think. Kirkis.
Oh, yeah. Milos Kerkez, they got ACL. They lost.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know they lost some big players this summer. Maccabi Haifa is so bad. Like they just got lucky to get UCL last season. Nah, they didn't get lucky, man. I'm sorry, they didn't get lucky.
Yeah, we saw they put up good fights in a very tough group.
And did you see they beat Juventus, man?
Yeah.
And I know Juventus is kind of me. I know they're not that good anymore, but still, to beat Juventus is pretty incredible. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Maccabi Tel Aviv has more league wins. Okay, like I said, like we said, they're probably better historically in all time. But like right now, I'd say Haifa is probably better. You know, I have to deal with the pain of seeing Summer playing for Inter. So, okay. Second best club lost 6-0 on aggregate. Bosnian Croatians suck. Zrinski are like Deportivo Pereira, just there for vibes.
Okay, but respect Pereira. They made the quarterfinals, okay? Your team got grouped by them, so like...
Yeah, like that. Like I can't believe you're actually saying that. You have the audacity to say that. Oh man, I like Inter, but Kosovo. Okay, the Nazis are playing the UECL.
Whoa, mods.
Yeah, guys, be respectful, guys. Be respectful because some of you guys are saying some wild stuff here, and I might have to delete some comments. Okay. I like Kosovo. Okay. I'm not gonna read any more of these kind of comments. I'm sorry. They lost Carlson and Kirkis, who will win the Conference League. I'm gonna go with Astonville. That's my pick for now.
If they take it seriously, they have a good chance, but obviously we don't know.
Yeah, and my Europa League winner, I feel like Liverpool is too straightforward.
We're not gonna win the Europa League, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Roma, but you know what, Sevilla
no.
might actually win.
Oh yeah, because Sevilla are gonna finish third. Oh my god, yeah, we know.
Oh fudge, Lons, do me something, man, please. Oh man, I'm gonna still say Roma, but man, I'm just hanging on, man. I'm just hanging on. Eddie, don't read comments regarding war here. All right. Serena Zvezda let Maccabi Haifa qualify last year with a own goal. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened in the match? I mean, that is true, I suppose. Okay. Israel League over Swiss League. Ooh. Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. Aston will win the Conference League. All right. If you say so. All right. Moving on to Group F. We still have 3 more groups to go, so we getting a little bit over an hour. So we'll try to wrap this up in like 10 or 15 minutes from now.
Okay. Very interesting group. Ferencváros, Fiorentina, Genk, Kukariki. Is that how you say that, Billy? You can probably correct me. I feel like this is very interesting. I feel Kukariki, obviously, I don't know much about them. I don't know much about many of the Serbian teams that are not Partizan and Red Star, obviously. So I feel like I'm probably going to say that they are wild cards. They probably have a very good home stadium that they can rely upon to catch teams off guard and pick out some points. But they are probably the favorites to finish last in the group. We'll see. Maybe they have a chance to upset. Genk, obviously, my Belgian friend is a Genk fan. And this team is a bag of surprises. I feel like they are a good team, but they've been really struggling to perform as of late. I don't trust them at all. Defensively, they look shaky. Their midfield is a bit abysmal. And their attack is not as good as last season. So I feel like Genk will probably not be doing much in Europe. They are more of a home team. I feel like they are more of a local team. They do well in the league. They don't do well internationally. They barely qualified here to the Conference League on penalties, so I feel like Genk is going to have a tough time. If they get their stuff together, they could contest for second. I feel like Fiorentina are the easy favorites to top the group, and Ferencváros, I feel like they should get second. Genk maybe has an outside chance, like I said, but they need to figure out their stuff, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. Fiorentina should be able to walk this group. Like, they should be able to top. And I think the second place battle is going to be between Genk and Ferencváros. Kukraki, Chuka. Okay, let me actually try to start this over. Chukarika.
Chukaricki. I think Chukaricki is saying really.
Richki.
Chukaricki. Yeah. Okay.
Richki. It kind of sounds like you're like saying like Costa Rica. To be honest.
Chukaricki.
Yeah. Anyways, I feel like they'll give a good fight. I don't think they'll. Unfortunately, I feel like it's gonna be a tall task, and I don't know, man. Ferencváros, I'm not really as convinced as you may have seen because they lost to KI, man. 3-0 on aggregate. And I think they were at home as well, which is embarrassing.
Right.
You know? And I think they dropped from the Champions League qualifiers all the way to the Conference League qualifiers.
Well, same as Genk. So.
That is true. But I don't know, man. It's a difficult one. They have a lot of quality on paper as well. Obviously, we know how good of a team they have, and they won the Champions League a few seasons ago, of course. But yeah, I mean, who knows, man? It's a very uncertain. I think the only team we're like really strongly convinced is Fiorentina. I think that's the only team like we're like 100% sold on. The other teams we're not really sure we're gonna get. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's move on to some other. Let's move to some comments. Yes.
Chukaricki.
Chuka. And I really want to keep pronouncing the name all the time. So. Man. Okay, I'll just these pronunciations. Yes, Chuka Richki. Okay.
Nice.
Ghent win. Genk win. Magar power. Ha ha ha. Okay. Israel League is more interesting. Swiss League. Oh, okay. I don't know about that. Let's see, man. Let's see what happens at the end of the group stage. Let's see how many more teams progress. You know. Fiorentina, Ferencváros, Genk. Chuka Richki. Israel have Makiba, Haifa, Makiba Tel Aviv, Hapoel, Beersheva, Hapoel, Jerusalem, Makiba Nateya, Ashdod. Should I carry on? Well, none of them are. Only 2 teams are in Europe, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Yeah.
So you both did decent in terms of pronunciation. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it. Group G, man.
Oh,
Michael's here.
Yeah, we kind of need Michael here because obviously we have the big team Helsinki Jalkapallo. No, I butchered that. Jalkapallo Klubi, AJK, if you don't want to say the full name. And they got in a team with Eintracht Frankfurt, PAOK, and Aberdeen. And I saw Michael tweet, "It's over. They are getting fourth. Like there's no hope." But yeah. I feel like I don't agree with Michael. I'm not as pessimistic. I feel like they may give up a good fight because Aberdeen, Sir Alex Ferguson is not there anymore. He's not there to start again. It's not the 90s anymore. And this Scottish league is not as good as it used to be. So I feel like AJK, especially at their home ground in Helsinki, can probably do something. But yeah, I feel like second is probably a bit too much for AJK. Eintracht Frankfurt are obviously the favorites, and PAOK should probably finish second. And yeah, the other 2 teams, I feel like they're going to be, I don't know, there for the vice maybe.
Yeah, dude. Frankfurt, man, I don't know what to think of this team. Like, this team has kind of been falling off a lot recently. They just sold their striker to Moani to PSG, which is ridiculous. Like, he was one of their best players, man. And there's not going to be enough time to get a replacement, I'm pretty sure.
No.
And I guess they're going to have to invest everything on that Bora guy, who's kind of been a flop, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Frankfurt, man, they're obviously they have enough quality to do well in the competition because this is the Conference League after all, but I don't think they're going to win it, personally. But yeah, they're definitely a European team, man. That's for sure. PAOK, as I said, they're a very underrated team. They're definitely decent at home, and they can definitely qualify from this group, And then AJK, I've lost a lot of hope. They just sold one of their best players, man, Glenn Kamara. Like that. Actually, no, I think he was at Rangers, right?
Maybe he was.
Yeah. Well, never mind that. But still, like AJK is going to struggle in this group a lot. I wasn't really convinced on the Champions League qualifiers in Aberdeen. We know Scottish teams are generally decent at home, so that could be enough. So yeah, AJK, man, at least put up a fight.
Yeah, I just love the name Helsinki Jalkapallo.
Yeah, just call them AJK, man. Okay, Sebastian says, okay, I don't even want to mention that guy's name. So we'll have a transfer thing tomorrow, guys. We'll discuss more about that tomorrow. But oh man, I prefer not to speak. Israel League is weak. Okay, Arthur McGurk says, how about your beer Sheffield was in Europe? I mean like we're talking about this season, we mean not like last season. No Israel League, best league in the world. Okay, whatever you say. Frankfurt. You even spelled it wrong. Frankfurt. I know what you mean though. Aren't going anywhere. They're horrible right now. Yeah, I know Frankfurt's not that good anymore. POC, my favorite Greece team. Israel League, the best league. Okay, I'm really confused. You said it was weak, and now you're saying the best league in the world. Like what? Make up your mind. Frankfurt are interesting. They always do well in Europe, but not in the Bundesliga. Yeah, they're definitely a European team, man.
Mm-hmm.
What league do you support? No, the rumors were false though. I meant to put Frank. I meant to put Frankfurt because they beat Levski. Oh, okay. That's your team, I think, right? Your local team.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now moving on to Group H, the final group.
Ooh. Well, I don't care what anybody says. Like Fenerbahce is obligated to walk this group. There are no excuses. I feel like they couldn't have gotten an easier group. Obviously, we have Ludogorets, who have a lot of history. They are probably the biggest team from Bulgaria, and they have a lot of European experience, so they will put up a fight. After that, I feel like Fenerbahce have no excuses. Spartak Trnava, I feel like that's how you pronounce that team. I've never heard of them, obviously. And then you have Nordsjælland, which are obviously another wild card. I'm happy to see more Danish teams in this type of competitions, because we know that Denmark usually have a very good national team, but their clubs are not as good. We'll have to see how they do. Definitely a wild card, but I feel like the obvious prediction should be Fenerbahce first, and they should be like completely walking this group, in my opinion, and Ludogorets second. Spartak and Nordsjælland, they'll have to battle it out between themselves, and I don't know, maybe they can scratch points of the other two, but I don't see it happening. It's too difficult. I feel like this group is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, Fenerbahce should obviously top the group with the quality. They have had a great window, man, making so many signings, and obviously second place, Ludogorets are probably the favorites, and yeah, I mean, I want to see what Nordsjælland can do. I'm keen to see what they can do. I feel like I think they're representing. I think it's the first time they made. I'm keen to see what they can do. Sparta Trnava, of course. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that name right. They're definitely going to make competitive. Like I feel like the interesting thing with this group is a second place battle. That's probably the most interesting thing with this group. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and read some comments here. I mean, if that many people said that nothing happened, like what are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about the Sebastian comment about the Getafe thing and that player going to Getafe? Something happened. Ludogorets are great at home. Yep. Nordsjælland will give Fenerbahce a fight. Who do you support? Who do you beer? Arthur McGregor, are you British? Turkish teams are crazy supporters. I'm not. I'm from Sweden. Oh, interesting. All right, so we're an hour and 19 minutes in. I feel like we did a concise recap, concise preview of the Europa League groups and Conference League groups. So I guess we'll give you guys like a few minutes to give your final thoughts and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So I'll put time description below if you're watching the replay. So I know some of you guys are gonna skip around and everything. So I'll put a timestamp for the Europa League and Conference League. So any final thoughts before we head out, Brink?
I feel like some of these groups look very, very interesting. Some even better than the Champions League groups, like you said. Like there's gonna be a lot of competitions. I feel like more groups are tricky to predict than straightforward, which is something I always like to see. There aren't that many straightforward groups. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting. there are a lot of unknown teams that I'm interested to see how they perform. This is like the beauty of these other type of competitions. We get to see teams we don't normally see, and yeah, I'm sure it's going to be another fantastic season for Europe.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Nice. 8074. What happened to TNS? What's TNS? Can you do you know what TNS is? I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to like think of teams that have those syllables, but no, I cannot think of them.
Yeah, let me just search right now real quick. Oh, the New Saints. The New Saints.
Oh, they fell off. That's basically it.
Yeah, they fell off. What country are you from? Who's that in towards? For me or like for Bulgaria?
No, he's talking with Har in the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay. Israeli leaving in the UK. Okay. Well, it seems fall. Okay. Enjoy Sabbath. AZ win Conference League, Liverpool win Europa. I don't think AZ Alkmaar can win the Conference League. That would be nice though.
Yeah. They can make a push for sure. Liverpool, I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think we are gonna care enough.
Yeah. And thanks, the New Saints. And as long as Sevilla's in the competition, you should be scared.
Yeah, they are not there yet.
Yet. Oh, I just realized, man, Rank, we have to thank West Ham. West Ham saved football.
Oof. True.
Yeah. I still can't believe they beat Sevilla, man. A few seasons ago in the Europa League. Like, that's a miracle, man. It's a miracle. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, guys, for the deadline day madness. We'll talk about some of the best transfers that happened in August. And the Sunday, we'll do a live stream. And then I'll take a break from streaming, streaming 4 days in a row. And then we'll do maybe I'll do a Twitch stream Monday or something. Because it is Labor Day weekend for me, so it's a long weekend. So maybe I might be able to do something on Monday. We'll just have to wait and see though. But yeah, or maybe we'll do tomorrow or Sunday. We'll see, whatever. And then we'll do make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, get notified whenever I go live, and like the video, of course. And also subscribe to Rank's channel. I'll leave a link in the description below if you haven't already done so. So yeah, shout out to Rank, man. Rank. Tell us about yourself, man. Just give a quick mention of your places where people can find you.
Well, my YouTube channel is called Rank Talks Ball, and I do certain essay videos. I talk about especially the Argentinian national team, other club competitions like the Copa Libertadores, the Premier League, and I like to tell football stories. Basically, I'm gonna be uploading more football essays on stories of the past. So if you're interested in that and long videos, you can check my channel.
Yeah, definitely. Indeed. I know. I just remember I forgot to do that. I forgot to do my essay video, but just been so much uploads going on. Maybe I'll do it during a Christmas break or something. But yeah. Also, by the way, guys, we just reached 1,290 subscribers on the stream, so I did see that. So we're getting very close to getting 1,300 subscribers, and of course, the magic number 2,000 by the end of the year, hopefully. And I was gonna read some of the last comments. Hakan wins the Europa League. I don't think so. West Ham, Heart, and football is already dead thanks to City.
Then.
Okay. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the stream. Remember guys to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. Actually, one last comment from you. What do you think about the Group F of the Champions League? I did a video reaction, and check out yesterday's stream. We discussed that yesterday's stream, and I also did a reaction on my video. So check that out.
It's the best group, and PSG is getting last. That's all I know.
We'll see. 69K by the end of 2024.
Yes.
Hopefully. All right. I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.